One of my most frequently asked questions is, how are you able to travel so much? While travel can be expensive at times, it doesn't always have to be that way. I'm here today to share with you guys 11 tips that have helped me travel to 21 countries. So if you want to book that trip or you want to go travel the world and you feel like it's out of reach because it's so expensive, keep on watching this video because I promise you guys there is a way to do it. I hope you find this video helpful. I'm excited to share this information, and without further ado, so lame. Let's just get into it. My first tip is to search for flights on Google or Kayak. Kayak is really great. My mom has used that for years to book a bunch of our trips, but Google, I have found, is actually really great as well. Obviously, you can go on your laptop and search in flights on Google. For example, you could put like LAX to Bali, Indonesia, and see what comes up. And then when they show you the calendar, select dates. It'll pop up with prices, and you can mix and match the dates to get the best price. I have gotten the cheapest flights doing it this way. Just last week, I was looking into some flights to Tulum from Atlanta, Georgia, and they were literally $200. So definitely check that out. Going along with that, definitely be flexible with what airport you're flying out of and what airport you're flying into. And being flexible with the airport that you're traveling in or out of, it definitely helps you find the best price, because sometimes driving an extra 30 minutes to a further airport will actually save you hundreds of dollars on a flight. Tip number 2, I have mastered this somehow, and if you would like me to make a video on explaining how to do this, let me know. Travel with just a backpack. Traveling with just a backpack can save you so much money. I literally flew to Pennsylvania like a week and a half ago and spent, I think it was $60 round trip for a week, and I just packed everything in a backpack. And you probably won't believe me, but I actually didn't even wear all of the clothes that I packed because I had extra room.
Beautiful.
Do you think I could fit her in my backpack? So if you want to see a video on how to pack efficiently in a backpack, let me know in the comments. But yes, traveling with one bag can save you so much money. And if you're planning on doing a backpacking trip anyway, there you go, smart. This next one is probably one of the most, if not the most important, and I think a lot of people underestimate how much money you can spend on food. Looking back on my travels, there might be 1 or 2 restaurants that I remember being a really cool experience, but overall, I really don't remember a lot of food. It's always the experiences and excursions and people that we've gotten to go with. Honestly, when it comes to food, you don't always need that steak dinner. Whenever you arrive at your destination, go to the local grocery store, buy a baguette, make your own food, bring your own food. And if there's not a grocery store, go to the local market, which is honestly better most of the time because you're helping the locals and you're giving back to them while getting some fresh, healthy, authentic, cultural food for literally a fraction of the price of what you would pay in a restaurant. This is like the biggest tip. I can't stress enough because you can easily spend like over $1,000 just on food if you're eating out every day. Number 4 is travel with people. You can get a beautiful Airbnb that is totally out of your price range, but if it can sleep 8 people and you have 8 people coming with you, then it's split 8 ways and you can really travel for cheap. Also, it's just better to travel with people in general because a lot of places aren't that safe and you don't want to be alone, especially if you're a girl. My next tip is to get a credit card with an airline. My family uses American Airlines and we're constantly racking up points for flights. It's awesome because you're literally just grocery shopping and you're gonna spend that money anyway, but if you can be getting points for future travel, it's really awesome. We have flown for free so many times because of the points that we accumulate. Definitely do that. Pick an airline, stick to it, get the credit card, commit. We'll fly for free more than you think. When traveling, travel by train or like the tube, the underground tube. I'm gonna speak on Europe because I know that best, but when traveling in Europe, if you get a week pass for the train, you will save so much money because you can go an unlimited amount of time. That's saving you from renting a car and Ubering, and if you plan on traveling Europe for a few months, obviously the Eurorail, you can go anywhere. It is very inexpensive. And it's just like one of the best ways to save money. Training places is such a good experience. I actually stayed on an overnight train once though. That wasn't the best experience, but nonetheless, I'm glad we did it. All right, what is next? Ooh, this is a good one. Travel to Asia or travel to a place that you know once you get there, it won't be that expensive. This makes such a big difference because if you live in the United States like me, it's kind of expensive here to travel, especially food. Don't even get me started on gas prices right now. A friend of mine is traveling Thailand right now and he's literally spending like next to nothing on food and he's eating out most of the time, and it's really awesome to experience culture that way. So definitely let the location and how expensive expensive it is once you get there play a role in your planning phase, because it can really make a difference to pay $1 for breakfast instead of like $15. I know Tulum is really expensive, and then you have Thailand that's not. Also, my friend who's in Thailand, Justin, hi if you're watching this, all of his food Instagram stories, I've literally gotten Thai food twice here in the States since he started traveling, so thanks Justin. The next one is to pre-plan. Pre-planning saves you so much money, because when you plan in advance, you're not going to pay as much. You can plan inside of what your budget is, and that is so important, because usually when you get to the location and you have no plan, you're going to do these last minute excursions, which are going to cost you more. And also you really might miss out on seeing something very cool that you didn't know about until you left. This has happened to me a few times where I've gotten to a place, I've filmed the video, and then I've left, and I saw someone post something else, and I was like, oh my gosh, I never knew that was there. So definitely plan. It will save you money, it'll make your experience better, and if you are a travel videographer like myself, planning is like the #1 thing you need to do. Plan your trips. This one I'm in the process of doing right now, and that is working with companies, excursions, airlines, hotels, so that you can travel for free or get paid in exchange for your work. This is how most people on social media are traveling for free or for little to no cost these days. This is probably the best way to travel for cheap and honestly travel for free. Like I said, I'm in the process right now of sending those emails out, so it is something I'm not extremely experienced in yet, but once I dip my toes into it and I get a little more experience, I would love to do a video on that for you guys and share what that journey is like. I have worked with a lot of brands during my time on YouTube. It's just a great way to make money or kind of do a little exchange if you don't have a huge following. So if you're a photographer or a videographer, you could offer to take pictures or videos for that hotel or excursion in exchange for staying there or going for free, and that is a great way to save money and even not spend any money when traveling. My next tip is using Uber. Uber is a very inexpensive way to get around. If you don't want to take a train or rent a car, Uber in most countries is going to be way less expensive than your average taxi. Always make sure that the license plate and the face of the person matches the profile on Uber. You don't want to get abducted. Seriously? That has happened so much. I don't Uber alone, but Uber is a great thing. But honestly, walking is the least expensive way to get around, obviously, and it's kind of the best because you can get lost in the streets. And when you're walking places, you honestly might create this whole new excursion for yourself that you didn't know existed, and it might just make the trip. My last tip for you guys is travel during off season. So for example, my grandparents live in Spain, and the summer is usually the most popular time to travel, especially to Spain. People start visiting our little village in Spain in June, July, and August, and the beach is packed. It's like not even enjoyable to be there. We usually go in April or May, which is right before summer, so you're still getting that warm weather, but there's not a lot of people there, and flights are a lot less expensive because it is low demand, high supply. You get the vibes. Definitely travel during off seasons. You will save money. You will have a lot of places to yourself. I guess the only downside would be is time off from work, or during off season sometimes like Bali. Off season could be the rainy season, but hey, maybe you would really like the rainy season. So it's all preference, and yeah. So those are all the tips and tricks I'm going to share with you guys for today. I hope this video helped you and inspired you to go book that ticket, because it really is doable. If you guys would like to see more videos like this, let me know, because seriously, there are so many life hacks when it comes to traveling that I would love to share, because they have been life-changing for me. Love you guys, stay safe, and I will see all of you beautiful people next week. Adios!